foundation. So the first thing that I'm going to do is prime my eyelids, and I'm using MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. And this is going to prevent your eyeshadow from creasing, and it's going to make sure that it lasts all day or all night long. And it's also going to help the colors that you apply to come out more vibrant and true to color. So the first color that I'm going to take is Wedge by MAC, and this is just a very simple neutral light brown, and this is going to act as a transition color. We're going to apply it to our crease, and then just a little bit above we're going to blend it up, and this is just going to ensure that all of our shades blend together really nicely. So I'm starting it off in my crease, and I'm bringing it from the outer crease all the way into the inner crease. And then once you don't have as much on your brush, you're just going to blend it upwards towards the brow bone. But make sure you do leave a little bit of space between that shade and your brow bone. So the next shade that I'm going to use is Cranberry by MAC, and this is going to go along the crease line and blend it upwards towards the brow bone and no lower than that. We want to make sure that we keep as crisp of a line as possible between the lid portion and the crease line. So you want to use a brush that's a little bit more detailed, that allows you to get a little bit more precise. So I'm going to start off by looking down into a mirror. This is the easiest way so that your lids don't overlap and you end up blending it down onto your lid. And you're going to start off super slowly. Make sure you tap off any excess. Where that crease line shows up when you open your eye, that's where the eyeshadow is going to start. So just look down, remember that spot, and slowly start building this color. Now we're going to bring this color from the outer corner all the way dragged into the inner corner. Now once you've applied that color to your crease, we're going to go in with a clean blending brush and we're going to blend out those edges. But again, don't blend downwards, blend upwards towards your brow bone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue building up that color and blending it out until I've gotten the vibrancy that I'm looking for. So this is what I'm looking for that first shade. Now I'm going to go and do my second eye and I will be right back. Okay, so now that I have both eyes done with that cranberry shade, I'm going to go in with Sketch by MAC, and I'm going to lightly, I'm going to tap my brush so I have the smallest amount of eyeshadow on my brush. I'm going to tap it off because what we're going to do is just add a little bit more definition to that cranberry shade. We're going to go lightly from the outer corner all the way into the inner corner of that crease color and blend it upwards. So super lightly. I'm just going to add a little bit. And you see how that's already added a little bit of depth into my eye? That's what we're looking for. We want to build up the color so there's a lot of dimension in the eye look and it makes your eyes pop. Now I'm going to take that clean blending brush that we used before and just buff out that color slightly. So the next shade that I'm going to use is Half Baked by Urban Decay, and this is the shade that's going to be the pop of color in the middle of the eyelid where we left all of that blank space. So I'm going to concentrate it on the center of my lid. So what I'm finding is working best for me is that I'm using the flat shader brush. So you saw me pat on my first layer of shadow, and then I've been using it to kind of clean up this crease shade right here. When it comes to compacting the actual shade onto my lid, I found that using my finger worked the best for me. So this is what the eye is going to look like. Now I'm going to go over and do my other eye, and I will be right back. So now I've applied that gold shade to both of my eyes, we're going to move on to defining the inner and outer crease. I'm going to start off on the outer corner of my eye with Sketch. And now this is going to help us big time when it comes to applying the black onto our lashes, onto our eyelid, because there's already going to be a dark shade there, so we just kind of have to mingle the two together. What I'm doing is I'm using the side of the shader brush to get into my inner crease and draw a line with that sketch color, meeting up into the center of the crease line right there. Now that we have that done, I'm going to move on to my second eye, and I'll be right back. I applied the black shade to my eyelid, and I'm just going to show you how I did that. So I took a super fine detailer brush. This is the Real Techniques accent brush, and I did this so that it would allow me to get as precise as possible. So I brushed it off of my hand, and I started off on the outer corner of my eye by forming a bit of a cat eye shape, and then dragged it into my crease, and that's kind of like my outline for what I'm going for. So with whatever's left over on my brush, I'm going to start just pulling that color in towards my eyelid, and this is how I'm blending that black. I'm going to start off by outlining where I want this black shade to go, dragging it into my crease line like that. I'm going to go back in with whatever is left over on that sketch shade on that brush. We don't want to re-dip into our palette. Just take whatever is left over and just blend out that black. And now I'm going to take whatever is left over on the flat shader brush part, and I'm going to blend the inner corner. Now that we have that done, I'm going to go back in with Cranberry by MAC, and I'm just going to overlap the outer portions of that eyeshadow to make sure that that cranberry color is still nice and vibrant. Taking whatever's left over on that brush that we applied the cranberry color, I'm going to drag that down into my lower lash line. Now taking whatever is left over on that brush that you sketched on, I'm going to apply it down into my lash line as well. And now on the very outer portion, we're just going to add a bit of black. Now what I want to do is just retouch up that gold in the middle of our eyelids, make sure we didn't lose any of the intensity. And just blend that ever so slightly on the edges. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that gold shade we used on our lid and connect it on the lower lash line into all these colors. And to highlight the inner corner, I'm going to use the gold shade from this Estee Lauder eyeshadow duo in the shade 50 Khakis, and add it into my inner corner, like so. So now what I want to do is apply my eyeliner, and I'm using the Maybelline Eye Studio eyeliner in Blackest Black, which is a gel liner. And I want a perfect wing, so what I did is I applied some masking tape just to my eyes to shape out where I want, and then when I peel it off, it's going to be a perfect straight line. And when I take it off, should be a perfect wing. And then using a MAC 266 angled brush, I'm going to dip into my charcoal brown and I'm going to fill in my brows. Apply some eyelashes if you would like to. Now I'm going to apply my Rimmel black eyeliner to my waterline. So now that the eyes are done, I'm going to move on to doing the rest of my face, and I'm going to start off with contour. Outline it like that. I also like to use it along the temples, on the edge of my forehead, and along the jawline. To highlight, I'm going to use the Maybelline eraser for dark circles in the shade Fair. And I'm going to make triangles underneath my eyes. This is also going to conceal. And then the rest of it I'm going to blend out with my foundation brush. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Body Shop Honey Bronzer in the shade Deep Matte. For blush, I'm going to use Launched Away by MAC. To highlight, I'm going to use MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. Like so. For my lips, I'm going to start off by applying MAC's lipstick in Hue. And lastly, over top, I'm going to use my Pixie Lip Gloss Stick in the shade 9 Orchid Petal. So that is it, guys. That's the end of the tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I am really proud of the way it came out, seeing that I completely winged this. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Thank you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!